going to see George Chaplin against Leroy Diggs.
We're going to see two large heavyweights.
Large. Explain. 218 and 216 are the weights.
I mean, I haven't seen anything but muscles ripple since these two walked in. I think we're in for a good one.
And Marty Feldman is in the ring again, and let's go to Frank Talent, the announcer.
We have in the corner to my left, at 218 pounds, he is in the gold suede trunks from Baltimore, Maryland. Here is George Chaplin. Chaplin. And in this corner, he is in blue trunks, white stripes, at 215 pounds. From Swedesboro, New Jersey, Leroy Diggs. Diggs.
Leroy has brought his family.
This will be 6 rounds.
Marty Feldman, the man with the white hair in the ring, also was the trainer of Richie Bennett, who just won that first fight, and Augie Pantelis, who fought here on our last card.
Marty Feldman has got some nice fighters going for him.
And we might mention that Augie Pantelis is going to fight Skinny Jimmy Rothwell.
Oh, I think that's going to be a beauty.
Rothwell surprised everyone by knocking out Mike Everett in the last fight, and Jimmy had been criticized quite a bit for not fighting and not punching, and he really showed he can punch.
He showed he could punch. He came at him. I think the people are in for a treat when those two get together. I'm looking forward to it.
Rudy Battle is the referee, as he was in the first bout. Chaplin is managed by Joe Granby, who is also the manager of Richie Cates, who is, as we know, is fighting tonight against Matt Franklin in our main event here at the Spectrum. His only loss was by decision September 17th, 1977. That's Chaplin. And he is in the gold trunks. Leroy Diggs in the blue.
I don't have the heights or the reach in front of me, Pete, but Leroy has a decided reach advantage over George Chaplin. These two, I don't mean to be repetitious, but these are big boys.
216 and 218.
And for those of you thinking, well, they're heavyweights, they're supposed to be. True, but you see heavyweights come in that don't have the muscles of these two. They're just big. There's a little fat covering the muscles. These two are solid.
Diggs in the blue from Swedesboro is 8-4 and 2. All his victories are by knockout. And Chaplin in the gold is 8-1 with 6 knockouts. Oh, he hurt him with the left hand. Diggs connected to Chaplin's head with the left.
I don't know how much he hurt him, but I'll say this: Chaplin is just swinging a little wild and waiting to see what's going to happen. Diggs has no time to wait. He takes that wide stance and he's going after him. There's that reach by Chaplin. He's just going to keep reaching with the rights and lefts as he started to do before. This is the only way he's going to combat that long reach, Pete. He's just going to keep those hands up and pointed out instead of close to the body. Just watch Chaplin keep those arms up.
Missed with the right hand, Diggs did.
Diggs will come in after him. It's the only way to fight this fight.
He's trying to get in there. Misses. Chaplin is doing an excellent job of dodging punches. 1 minute left to go in round 1 of a scheduled 6-rounder. Oh, what a left hook by Chaplin.
Look at the way the hands are up now. That's the only way. One fighter keeping them close and one far away.
Chaplin is evading everything Diggs is throwing, and Chaplin scored with a good left hook to the head. This looks like the kind of fight that people here at the Spectrum love.
Oh, this will be a good one.
Slugfest.
Yeah, you watch when Leroy Diggs jumps around the ring, bounces a little. It seems like every heavyweight today has a little of Muhammad Ali in him, just something. It doesn't mean the overall talent, but even his little moves.
Ooh, a left hand stuck in there by Diggs. Now Chaplin comes back. Just 10 seconds left in the round. Good right hand at the bell.
Right, quick exchange at the bell, but no harm done in the round. And I really don't know what they found out about each other.
So George Chaplin against Leroy Diggs. And Chaplin, I think, took the first round on the basis of that left hook and the way he got away from the punches.
You're awarding a round on one punch.
And
I love it.
He did get that right hand in.
Pete, look what we
Near the
have.
end.
You're going to have to remember the name because I can't. We have another. Oh, I do remember the name. Winant.
Wade Hinnant.
Hinnant. Wade Hinnant. Another fighter who stands.
Right. And he's going to be...
Cameras on George Chaplin right now, but
he's 8-1, as we mentioned, with 6 knockouts. Chaplin is from Baltimore, Maryland.
just to clarify that on the fighter who stands, I was referring to Leroy Diggs, not to Chaplin, who was seated as we switched to him.
Round 2, scheduled 6-rounder, heavyweights. George Chaplin in the gold against Diggs in the blue.
It's toe-to-toe time. If I didn't know better, I think these two had met earlier and really want each other's heads.
They're bouncing now. Right to the body by Diggs. Chaplin comes back with the right. Uppercut by Diggs. Uppercut misses. Good left jab by Chaplin, but he got Diggs going away. Good left jab by Chaplin. Chaplin comes back with an overhand right. Just misses, gets the left jab in.
If they would stop stalking each other and just walking in towards one another, I think that Diggs would have a much better chance if he did move like he showed in the first round a little bit, if he just bounced a little and came into Chaplin's right. And he's not. He's just coming after him. He thinks, I'm going to land that one punch and it's going to be all over. I really don't see it that way. He may. He's up there. He's got a lot better view of this than I do. But they both seem to be fighting that way, looking for that one opening, and I'm going to send it home, and that's it. Call me winner.
Diggs in the blue, Chaplin in the gold.
Diggs keeps that left arm so low. Look how low.
Right.
And yet Chaplin doesn't come across. Just backs up and takes those body punches. There's that alley. There it is. There's that 5-10 seconds of Muhammad.
Right hand by Chaplin misses.
If he's going to do it, he's got to keep doing it. Not showboat. Keep
Diggs
going to the left and keep jabbing.
Diggs is flicking that jab out.
I'd love to see Chaplin come in over that low left. Look at that. You can see it on your screen. Look how low he keeps that left arm. And yet Chaplin doesn't come across.
Well, Chaplin has to be careful because of the reach advantage of Diggs.
I think you're absolutely right. That's what's keeping him away. But
almost connected with the left hand.
At one point, he has to test it. Fake it. Don't go all the way.
Just a half minute left in round 3.
Here, he's got him in the corner. It was a perfect chance to do it.
Excuse me, round 2.
Look, Pete, some people like the fights faster than others.
Dancing a little whirl there. Rudy battled the referee again in this bout. Left hand connected. Oh, right uppercut by Diggs. He hurt Chaplin. Chaplin is hurt. Another right.
Diggs brought half of New Jersey with him.
So that's the end of round 2. That was a pretty even round.
Oh, yeah, I make that an even round. Hate to agree with you, but you're absolutely right.
Diggs is managed by Bobby Botto and trained by Marty Feldman. He's a strong puncher who made a comeback last December 6th and lost a close 6-round decision to Broderick Mason at the Blue Horizon. George Chaplin, managed by Joe Granby and Mac Lewis, and his only loss was to Mike Korenicki, November 30th, 1977, in Baltimore.
I think there's a difference on that date, Pete.
September
September
17th.
was.
Then he came back on November 30th and knocked out Don Wilson in one round.
Right.
Round 3.
I don't know if Dick Vermeil is a watcher of cable and of a prism, but if he is, I'd like to have Leroy Diggs at tight end. I can tell you that now.
He looks strong. He's got a tremendous chest.
Tremendous. I'd hate to see him in a full setup of football equipment. I'll tell you that. And he wants bodies. He wants contact. Chaplin is just going to wait, Pete. I don't believe he's going to barrel in.
It looks like a pretty smart fighter, Chaplin does.
Yeah, smarter than Diggs. I still think Diggs is the stronger. Chaplin just looks like the smarter.
And we have another showman here. He's bouncing off the ropes.
Too much showboating.
Everybody's an entertainer.
Well, entertaining isn't going to buy you a championship. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Taking the right.
You know, waving it. Even the people he brought from New Jersey weren't too crazy about that.
Nothing solid has connected in this round yet.
Pete, I think Chaplin's going to win this fight. We checked the biorhythm chart a few moments ago, and I think it'll be Chaplin. Diggs keeps waving, keeps bouncing, throwing some wild arms, nothing hitting.
I don't think that jab
Nothing
by Chaplin
happened there, absolutely nothing. A lot of sweat flew in the ring, that's all.
Okay.
One minute left to go in round 3. Chaplin faked going to his right and then came up with a punch, but I don't think it connected too hard. There he goes. He gets a left in.
Chaplin made him smart with that left. Diggs' expression changed a little bit when he hit that. There it is, coming in over that low left. Finally, he did it.
He did it with the left hand, too.
Right, and he came across, as you just said. If he would come in from the right, so much the better. And it's not to say we're rooting for Chaplin. We're certainly not. It's just something that you can see out there.
Oh, good uppercut by Chaplin there. Diggs is trying to work the body.
Right over us, and they're just going at each other.
Oh, good right hand by Diggs. Chaplin doesn't appear to be hurt.
Well, Rudy Battle's not going to step in as long as they're swinging. Nobody's hanging on to anybody.
Diggs is not connecting. He's throwing a lot of leather.
Rudy's just letting him go at it.
Good body punch by Diggs.
Now step in, that's it.
Another good round.
Good exchange.
For the first minute and a half, they didn't do much. They felt each other out, but towards the end, that action on the ropes, it was right in front of us. So good uptight action. Diggs was trying to connect. And the winner of this fight will face Marvin Stinson March 14th.
I'd like to see that. Marvin's another one of our favorites. Marvin fears no man.
And these two guys, Diggs and Chaplin, appear to be pretty good punchers as well as boxers. I would say Chaplin's a little better boxer.
I know this is going to sound like a promo, but I don't know of any ring in the country, any arena in the country that brings better fights than they do at Prism. I really don't.
Round 4 of a scheduled 6-round heavyweight fight.
I think we're going to see Chaplin go at him.
A right and then a left.
Chaplin will go at him now, Pete.
Hit him with an overhand right.
I think he's been told that he can get to him regardless of the reach, and Chaplin will barrel in. The exchange on the ropes told him that.
Tries to get the right in over that left.
Oh, he had 2 or 3 good shots to Diggs' head there.
Uppercut by Diggs misses. Chaplin and Diggs both up against the ropes. Now it's Chaplin against the ropes.
Oh, he's swinging from right and left, wide out. Those are third and counter shots, Pete.
Diggs swinging, but he hasn't landed a punch yet. Maybe Chaplin just wants him to punch himself out. Chaplin covering up very well.
Marty Feldman is yelling for the right uppercut, just yelling for it. And either Diggs doesn't hear him or he's just too intent upon pummeling the ribs.
Chaplin's doing a good job tying that right hand up.
Marty is yelling directions right next to his feet. Every punch. He's out of camera range, but believe me, he's right there, just below the ring to your left.
Diggs has really not connected with anything. He's hit a few punches to the body, but nothing serious.
Well, he'll get
Here goes
points.
Chaplin. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, just missed with that overhand right.
Chaplin fought his way out of there. He waited. He took what Diggs had to throw to his body, and then just came out. They've now changed positions.
Chaplin's strategy, as I said, was to let him punch himself out this round.
Chaplin could take the punches. Now he's coming back.
1 minute to go in round 4.
We're seeing another good one, Pete.
Diggs misses.
Off the back. Nothing to write home about. This is who can get who on the ropes quicker and then just hit.
Now they're dancing. Here's Diggs doing that dance again.
Oh, we've still got half a minute. And I don't know. I wonder if they're a little tired now. It's a question of we'll wait till next round before we started it up again. Nope.
Left. And a right uppercut by Chaplin.
No sooner did I say it than they're back on the ropes.
Both fighters appear to be in good condition. Both these fighters do.
There's a comment made from Marty's corner just now indicating that the other fighter is doing what your guy's supposed to be doing, which is right. Chaplin is coming with the uppercuts while Diggs is just pouring in.
That's the end of round 4.
And you've scored it.
That was a pretty close round. I like Chaplin for one reason. I think he's a smarter fighter. He's evading the punches. It's his strategy that is dominating this fight.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Diggs threw many more punches in that last round, that was Chaplin's plan. And then Chaplin came off the ropes after not being hit except for a few unoffensive body punches.
Yeah, I agree. Chaplin, here's Leroy. He's standing up. I can't get over it. A fight like this doesn't sit down, doesn't rest, but that's his prerogative. But you're absolutely right. That's Marty Feldman with the white hair, and he'll go out of your picture shortly with the round about to start.
As we mentioned, Marty trains Richie Bennett. And he also trains Augie Pantelis and Leroy Diggs.
I'm sorry, Pete. I'm sure that Marty just told him, come with that uppercut, and yet here he is. Here's Chaplin doing just what we said. He's got to attack, get him against the ropes, and he's about to throw him into our laps.
Diggs missed with a good right hand. Off the gloves of Chaplin with a left. Another left off the gloves.
The whole fight has, well, it's not a matter of it has changed. It's a question that Chaplin must keep the bodies close, must keep those short punches. And Diggs would like to think that he's a dancer, he's a pro forma boxer, and he can jab away. Rudy will step in and break this one up.
Clinch now Chaplin against the ropes.
The ropes is not where either one of these fellows want to be.
Faked the uppercut that time, and that dropped Chaplin's guard.
Leroy defends his body with his face with one arm. Notice how that right hand just stays up there.
One minute gone in round 5.
We might be seeing a little effect from the last round. A little tired. They really went at each other. Now, instead of battling at the ropes, they're leaning on one another, which is not what we saw in the last round.
Very little action here.
These are pros, and that leaning back against the rope and taking those punches is not something that you or I or any viewer could do. But actually, when you're leaning back against the ropes and you're getting hit like that, if it's not hurting you and you can take them on your body, you're resting. I don't care what anyone says. You talk to any fighter, they're leaning back and they're catching their breath, which is what Chaplin did before, and then he came out punching and caught Diggs, I think, by surprise. He's taking what Diggs has. He's not doing that much harm. Taking them on the elbows, the arms, the sides. Rudy won't break it up. There it is. Now they're clinching.
1 minute to go in round 5. This is a scheduled 6-round heavyweight fight. George Chaplin of Baltimore in the gold, and Leroy Diggs of Swedesboro in the blue.
Leroy, stands far back. Chaplin can't get that reach in. Look, even turn him around, move him bodily, get him against the ropes.
Chaplin scored with the left to the face. It's the jab and gets
Another
a left
left
hook
to
in.
the face.
Hits him again.
Leroy doesn't box back. He fights back in anger. You hit me and I'm going to get your back. That's
good left hook. Good left hook by Chaplin. Right hand in there. Uppercut by Chaplin.
Leroy's tired. He is really tired. It shows on his face. I just don't think he expected to get hit by Chaplin like that. There's just 5 seconds left, Pete. And this one goes into the books. This round, anyway. Oh, Leroy rested against the ropes.
Chaplin really connected
Let's take a look at those.
with 2 good punches in that round.
Here they come. Nice and slow. But there they are against the ropes again. Here he is, turning him around. Oh! And there's your punch. Caught him right flush with the left. Came with the right cross that didn't catch anything but air. But Leroy angry, and there's a good right cross. Caught him again.
Leroy dropped his gloves.
Well,
put them together.
Leroy reacted out of anger. You hit me. Wow, like a kid in the street. You can't do that. He hit you. The arm's got to go back up.
Once again, I'd like to remind you that right after this fight, we'll have the premiere of the movie The Eagle Has Landed. Actually, that'll be at 11:30. Round 6. This is the final round.
This is it. It's all she wrote. I think it's Chaplin's fight right now.
I do too.
Now, if they mix it up and Leroy catches something.
Chaplin connected with the right
I'm sorry.
and a left.
Marty Feldman is nobody's fool, and he told Leroy where it's at, and he's got to go with it. Look at, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, he almost broke his back bending him over the ropes like that. That's got to take a warning from Rudy. They've got to touch gloves, that's it. That was something I'd see in a wrestling match. Leroy, you've got to come in and hit him or you're going to lose the fight. You can't dance like that, Leroy. Go after him or you're going to lose.
Chaplin has fought a very heady fight and scored with more punches than Diggs. Good left hand in there by
If
Chaplin.
Chaplin just exchanges in this round, it's his. No time for showmanship, Leroy. Either fight or concede. If you're going to stalk him, Leroy, it sounds like I'm Marty Feldman. Marty Feldman on the edge of the apron, telling Leroy what to do. There he is, and I'd be surprised if Leroy even heard him. What Marty told him to do between rounds is what Leroy ought to do, and he's just not. And Chaplin's not letting him.
Minute and a half left in this
And
fight.
we can hear Marty, get him into the corner, get him against the ropes, and he's not. He's not, Chaplin's not letting him.
Chaplin hit him again.
The look on Marty Feldman's face right now is one of resignation.
Right.
That's the only way I can describe it.
Chaplin scores. Chaplin would be smart now just to be very careful. He has the fight won. He doesn't want to get hit by a punch.
He's got 1 minute to go, that's all. Leroy is too wild to hit him with a punch. Perfect example of this fight, Pete. A fellow with all the faculties. Great build, super muscles, long reach. I mean, he's put together. The other fighter's got it where it counts. He just outthought him. His pattern was better, that's all.
Diggs has just about 30 seconds to do it. If a fighter is down, the bell will not save him.
Oh, I don't think either one of these is going down, Pete. As long as they're not clinching, people, as long as they're not holding one another, Rudy Battles will not step in. They can stay on those ropes for another week.
10 seconds left. And that's the end of the fight between George Chaplin and Leroy Diggs. Diggs is taking a bow in the ring.
Diggs is taking bows, but it's Chaplin who's now going to be 9-1. It's if kids watch basketball, Pete, and they watch the Dr. J's and the George McGinnises and the Pete Maraviches and Doug Collins, they try to emulate them, try to do the behind the backs and all those things. You and I both know it can't be done. It's something that comes naturally or with years of practice. Here I've got a fighter who's watched Muhammad Ali, who's watched others, and with all due respect to him, he's ready to do that. He's not ready. And the taking the bows when the other chap has clearly won it's not my cup of tea.
You have to have your own style. What feels
That's right.
comfortable for you, not
That's right.
what someone else does. Julius Erving did not copy anyone. George
No.
McGinnis did not copy anyone.
They do what comes best with their body, with their head, with their God-given talents.
Norton and Ali are other cases of that. They have their own specific styles.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's I don't mean this to sound I'm certainly not knocking Leroy. It's just a comment on people in general. I hope none of the viewers take it as anything but.
Well, I think Chaplin has his own style, and
Yeah.
he's sneaky quick.
Yeah.
He does a few things that other fighters don't.
I'd rather watch her than listen to you, Pete. My goodness. We are getting that. Now, what do they say about those Dallas Cowgirls? Wait. I like our cameraman just as well.
Frank Talent, the ring announcer, is getting
He's collecting
the
the
decisions.
ballots. Here we go.
Let's go to the ring and Frank Talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest has been declared a draw.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Well, I'm sorry. In your dens, your living rooms, wherever you may be watching this, you have your own opinion. I just did not see it that way. I saw it as clearly George Chaplin's fight, although it started slow. I think that's a disappointed Chaplin going to his locker room.
Middleweights.
Is from Germantown, 4-6 with 3 knockouts. Kid Sampson in the dark trunks, and Curtis Parker is in the light trunks. And I will probably say Sansom instead of Sansom, or something like that, because when I moved to Philadelphia 8 years ago, I couldn't believe they had a street by the name of Sansom Street. I could understand Samson, but now you probably could wager how many times we're going to mispronounce the guy's name.
Well, now having come back and replaced you again, and being from New York, I can understand your mispronunciations there. It was mayhem in that ring.
Beautiful fight by
Happy
Franklin.
people. I feel an obligation on one thing I started to say about 8 minutes ago or so before he knocked him out on that you and I were discussing on this business of the being saved by the bell. It was merely just what you had said, the being saved by the bell in terms of the round was over, and if the count didn't go, he couldn't get